Okay. So far what we did, we discussed about a simple text box, drop down, radio button, checkbox, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Today what we are going to discuss, this is also very important. I think you might have saw in your development, in your development day to day to time. Say for instance, there is a two drop down. One is country. Country will populate all those things like UK, US, Canada, India, all countries it will populate, correct? If you click this drop
Mm-hmm.
down, you will see all countries. Say for instance, you selected UK from the first drop down. As part of second drop down, it is populating all the provinces. So whenever you are changing country, so the second drop down, it should change all those things accordingly based on the first drop down, correct? So if you select
Right.
first drop down as a UK, it should populate all those things. If you select second drop down as a US, it should populate all US provinces. If you select something else, some India, you need to populate all India related provinces. It's a dependent. Second one is depending on first selection, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So this is called dependent drop downs.
Oh,
This
okay.
dependent drop down because second one is indirectly it is depending on first selection. If you are
Right.
not selecting anything in the first, you are not able to populate second one because for second one some input is required, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you are changing the country, either US or UK, so what is happening? It is going to server and it will fetch the corresponding provinces and it will populate into second problem. For every change, we have to go to the server and we have to come back. We have to go to the server and come back, correct?
Right.
For every change, we are going to the server and we are coming back. In this case, if you see the form, right, we are not at all submitting the form, correct? Do you see any submit button?
Nope.
No, we are not submitting the form and we are not refreshing the entire page. Just only every time we are refreshing only this particular portion, right?
Uh-huh.
Rest of the fields is static. That will not refresh at all. Only this particular drop down it will refresh. So to do these kind of things, so we are going to use Ajax. Ajax. So this is very important. So by using Ajax framework, we can able to develop these kind of dependent drop downs. Correct? By using Ajax framework, we can able to develop these kind of dependent frameworks. It is clear, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, now, so every time whenever we are changing this US, UK, right, we need a server which will respond as per your first drop down selection, correct?
Uh-huh.
We need a server. So this server I have already developed. We need to concentrate on only this HTML and this part, Ajax part. So server is already I developed. So you give the one of the country as input and it will give response back as a some provinces list. Just give the country name and it will respond back with province list.
Huh.
So give the some one country, any country, and it will give back the corresponding provinces. So that is the service response. So you can ignore
So,
about service. Yeah, tell me.
okay. So if let's say, for example, not country, any other suggestion that you have, let's say for one drop down is depends on the multiple other button.
Yes, you can. Say for instance, now I'm selecting US and based on that I'm changing this one. So you can define maybe checkboxes. So based on selection, you can display multiple checkboxes. And user can select and change the selection first one again refresh the checkboxes. It's a depend.
I see.
So whatever the second portion might be drop down or checkbox or radio button, it will refresh whenever you are changing the first drop down, correct? So that is the ultimate goal here. So how many
Right.
checkbox we need to display, how many radio buttons we need to display, so that is based on the server response. Correct?
Uh-huh.
Sometime it may display 5 radio buttons and sometime it may display 2 radio buttons. So that is based on the server response.
Hmm. Okay.
So this server might be using database or whatever. This one is a black box for time being. Correct? We don't care about all those things, how the server is implemented. Our goal is how we are giving a dependency between these two radio buttons. Sorry, these two drop downs.
Yeah.
So how to send a request to the server and how to receive the request and how to display it. So that is our goal. For time being, we will ignore this server development, all those things. So this will be covered as part of your servlet part. How to receive the
Okay.
request and how to process the request, that we will cover as part of servlets. Then you will get more clarity. For time being, for you, this is a black box.
Okay.
Okay, this is clear, right? Theoretically.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, now what we will do, server is already I developed. This is our server. Okay, and it will respond you. If you give some country name, it will respond back with some provinces. Now we need to develop our Ajax application. Okay, let me develop a new dynamic web project. File, new dynamic web project. It's not a HTML, you can say Ajax example. So this is an Ajax example, and next,
So is this the version number is automatically is there or?
by default it will populate 3.0. For 3.0, what is the difference, if you select here, next, see here, the web.xml, it will not check automatically, so you need to check this one. It is unchecked, right?
Mm-hmm.
For 3.0, the web.xml will be by default unchecked. So if you select 2.5, what is happening, so it's already, so that is on different
Check.
actually. Rest of things there is no difference. And if we expand it, you can able to see web.xml, correct? And so far we have not created any HTML file, so I'm going to create one of the file called index.html for our testing purpose. Index. Okay, this is our HTML. Okay, now as per our PPT, if you see here, right, paint diagram, so we need one drop down, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So we need one drop down which is having some countries. It should populate US, UK, India, something like that. Okay, let me define some countries. So what I will do, I will write a table which is having two rows. The first row having two columns. This is first row. This is first column, and as part of first column, I want to define country. And as part of second column in first row, I want to define a drop down to a drop down to select the countries. Select. So as part of option, I want to populate some of the, yes. So here I want to display, please select. And as part of country name, I want to display US and UK and some India. So these three is fine for testing purpose. So you can add more, that is up to us. Okay,
Okay.
now this is fine. Now we need one more row also, which should populate provinces corresponding to the first selection. So here you can say this is the first column, and here I want to display province. This is the first column. In second row, as part of second column in second row, td, yes. So this one, every time it should change, right? Every time here whatever the whatever uh, drop down we are going to display, it should change accordingly, correct, based on the first selection, correct?
Right. Sorry, I had to close the door.
Yeah, yeah, fine, fine, no problem. So this one, please select. Okay, so now let me deploy it. We will see just overview. So far we have not interacted to server, or we have not written any Ajax. This is a simple HTML, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Let me take. So if we select US, it should populate US provinces.
All
If
the
we select UK, it should refresh, it should populate accordingly, correct?
So in that case,
Mm.
right, you have to put you have to list the name of the state and everything, right?
Correct. So that server, that is server headache.
Oh, so that information will be collected by the server, right?
Yes, server just assume server is having all the provinces for a given country.
Okay.
That is a server. Server may interacting to some database or whatever. Correct? So server is, we are assuming server is having a whole provinces for a given country. So that is server headache. So how it is implementing, how from where it is fetching the provinces.
Okay.
Okay, you give some country and it will give response back as some list of provinces, whatever available inside our server database. Correct?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, now go back to our, so this portion every time it should refresh. So for that what I'm trying to is I'm defining this portion into small division, and this division ID I'm giving as a province
Okay.
province div. So this particular portion every time I need to refresh based on this selection, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Just format it, yeah. So this is, so far we have, this is a plain HTML code. Now what we have to do, we have to write here one event. What is that event? Whenever you are changing this drop down, so we need to read the selected value, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So for that there is an event called on change. So the, for that we need to write some JavaScript function. So that JavaScript function is get selected country. So you change that country whatever you want, and this, for every change this JavaScript function will be called. So we need to write one more JavaScript on the top, like yesterday we have discussed, right? From past 3 days we are doing the HTML JavaScript portion. So this is not a script, CRIPT script, starting tag and ending tag function. So this is JavaScript, correct? So you change the country and it will be called, and here what we have to do, we have to read the selected country name. So for that we need to define a id equal to name equal to country. The similar way you can define id equal to country. And this is a, we need to define this entire thing into a form, or if you don't want to use any form, you can use document dot get element by id. It is like if you see our old form, right? So we can copy it instead of typing. Whenever you are typing this html content, right, so it will not give any syntactical error. In java you will get all those red mark, right? So here you will not get. So better way is just copy the things from somewhere in internet. So we need to read country here, where select country equal to document dot get element by id. We are concentrating on country, correct? So
Mm-hmm.
replace here country, and we need a value. Document dot get element by country value. So now first let me test at least here the country we can able to read or not. Selected country. Yes. Now go back to our page and refresh. Now let me select UK. So UK is coming. Now let me select India. India is coming. Fine, right? So far the first drop down is perfect. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever we are selecting, so it is coming back. After that we need to write Ajax code. So this Ajax code is common. This is the standard code basically. There is some piece of code, it is a standard code. Standard code is there. So every time what we have to do, we have to change the input and corresponding server information. So that piece of code, it is there with me. Somewhere I copied. Yes, this is the standard code for Ajax. And only this much is enough. I will explain you clearly what it will do. Yes. So this particular piece of code is standard code for Ajax. So I will explain you everything what is this, what it will do exactly. So if you see the line number 15,
Mm-hmm.
so at line number 15 what you are doing, just you are creating an object, XML HTTP request object. So this object
Mm-hmm.
we need it to send a request to the server. We need to send some request to the server, right? If you see here we are sending some request, correct? So to interact with the server, we need this object XML HTTP request. Okay, and we are going to connect to a server. This is your server information. This is your server URL. So this server URL, it will take one input as a country. So this country anyway you have here. So you need to give the input is country. So this is your server information, meaning the server is deployed into this particular location. Now I think I had to change this server information. This is our server, correct? Sorry, where is your server? Yes, this is the one. So let me deploy the server. It should up and running, right? I'm going to restart our server. Sample HTML I don't want. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm restarting our server also. Yes, server is ready. Did you see this?
Mm-hmm.
Server is ready. Our pending thing is we need to give some input to the server. It can able to respond back. Now open it. So this is our server URL. HTTP localhost server app. So this is the server, and we need to give the country as a input country, the selected one. And if you see here, there is a true flag is there. So what it mean by true? So say for instance, whenever you are selecting this drop down, and it is going to the server and it will come back. So in this case, if you say for instance server is taking 20 seconds to give the response back, in between these 20 seconds, if you want to do something, you can do, meaning you no need to wait for till getting the response back, correct? You want, if you want to do in between 10 seconds, you can do whatever you want. So for that asynchronous, meaning you are not depending on server response. If you make true, you no need to depend on server response. You can do your just to send the request and you can do your rest of things. So that is the advantage of this true. If you make this false, right, what will happen? Say for instance, server is taking 10 seconds to give the response back. So your form will wait till 10 seconds, till getting the response back. It will wait actually. So if you don't want to depend on server response, then you can make this one as a true. If you want to depend on server response, you can mark this as a false. So that is the disadvantage of this flag. So how we are getting this object? You are creating here indirectly, correct? And finally, once everything is ready from your side, you need to call send method. You need to send the request to the server. So far it's clear, right? 21 and 22 and 15, clear, right?
Right.
And in between we have something, so that I will tell you now. Yeah, now you created server and you send the request to the server. Okay, once you get the response back from the server, we need to handle it, right? So to handle that one, from this object, did you see there is a property called already change state? So whenever you are getting a response back, right, so this particular function will be called automatically. So when our server is giving back response, so this piece of JavaScript code will be called. So whenever server is giving response back, it is having a status, different phases, life cycle. So ready state must be 4, meaning it will start the ready state codes like a 0, 1, 2, 3, meaning request reached to the server, request is processing, request is completed. So for every stage, it is maintaining its own code like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But we don't want request received by server, request processing. We need only the final status, correct? Whether response giving back or not. So that's what we are concentrating on, final code. But it is having different codes like a 1 2 3 4 5. One means server is received the request, and second is server is processing the request, and 3 is server sent response back, and 4 is application received the response. But we don't care about 1 2 3, correct?
Right.
Okay, that is the purpose of this ready status code. And if we see the next HTTP status, you might have seen, right, some of the web application will give 500 internal server error, correct? And you see 200 success, correct?
Right. Which is local, right?
Correct. And you will see sometime 403 forbidden, 404, 404 not found, correct? These are the status codes, correct?
Right. Okay.
The server will give a different status codes like 400 and 401 and till somewhere till 500 there is a codes are available, and 403 and 404.
So these are the server error, right? It's
These are the
providing.
server response codes. Yes,
Oh, okay.
there are till 500 is there. If you want to see more codes, that is also one of the important question for you. In interview they will ask, can you tell me what is 404, 403, 404?
Oh.
But we never care about all other codes. We used to see only these codes 403, 400, 500, correct? But there is lot. For every code is having a unique meaning actually. 403 means you don't have permissions to reach the server, so that's forbidden. See here. So the codes will start from 200, and there are, before that there is some other codes also is available. 200 is success, and 201 is a new data is inserted, 202 is from server side received, 203 is authentication something blah blah blah. But we used to see this is a request, correct? 400 unauthorized and forbidden 404. These are the general request we used to see. So there is lot meaning. So 200 means in this case success. So we are considering, we are expecting success. So if anything is there, then we can ignore. Say for instance, you take this one and you can put one more condition like here. If 500, what is the meaning here? Server is down, correct?
Right.
Server is not responding. Maybe you can put some meaningful response. Server is not responding for 500, or internal server, whatever. So that user is familiar, like, oh, server is something went down from the server side. Okay, that is the meaning of the status and status codes. This is clear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now finally what we have to do, we have to read the server response, correct? So this is the server response text. And what we have to do with this server response text, you need to update this drop down. We need to refresh this portion, correct? So copy
Yeah.
this div part and update this server province div. Document.get element by id. This particular division content we are replacing with server response. So we are not refreshing entire form, we are refreshing a particular portion. So that is the province div. We don't want to refresh entire form. Okay, now come back to so this one, if you see here, right, so this is your first drop down selection. So if you select the drop down is say value equal to pls, we have to give, this is for developer purpose, correct? And for
Identify
us,
the.
yes, to identify which country is selected, us, and value equal to uk, and the last one is india. So these are the countries. So this is for developer purpose, this is for user will see these values. And now come back here. So selected country we are taking and we are passing input to your service, correct? Now let me check server side how it will recognize. I developed the service long back. What kind of country inputs it will receive? So India and US, UK. Yes, fine. Okay, now what we will do, we'll go to our page, just refresh it. Now what I'm going to select India. So the selected value is India. And if you see here, right, it is populating all India provinces, some three, just for testing purpose. Server side I am hard coding some of the provinces India, like you see Tamil Nadu, some APK, these are the some of the provinces in India. Okay, now let me select some other things, UK, US, sorry. So these are the some of the provinces coming from server side. Now let me select UK. So let me remove the alert every time it is keep on coming. It is changing, right? The values are changing, right? Every time
Mm-hmm.
you select at any point of time whatever you want, it will populate. So these values are coming from server side.
But for this one, you just put it for
Correct. For
testing
testing
purpose.
purpose, I included some dummy provinces.
Mm.
So every time it should change, correct?
Right.
You select whatever country you want, it will populate. So this is the way we can able to control the dependent drop down. So in this place you can add whatever you want, maybe checkbox, radio buttons, or some additional information based on the first selection. So this way we can able to control the dependent divisions or fields or values. By using Ajax call, you can go it, the request will reach the server and it will come back. So this is the your request information. And if you see here, right, there is additional field I forgot to tell you, get. Did you see this? Get. What is the purpose of this get? Whenever whoever implemented this server information, they will give this method name. So whenever we are discussing servlets, so that time I can talk about this one more, so that time you'll get more clarity. So whoever implemented this server, so they will tell you, so whenever you are hitting my server or my server, so you have to place method as a get. So they will give you this information, and
Okay.
this is get, and this is country name, and this is asynchronous response. So we are not depending on server response. We want to do our own job. We don't want to wait till server is giving back as a response. So that is the purpose of this true.
Okay.
It is clear, right?
Yes.
So this
It
code
is.
is generic code, and every time you have to change the server URL, and and you have to change your division. That's all. Say for instance, now what I am do, I am going to stop my server, meaning server will not give any response to you. So it's a negative scenario. So let me remove the server. Let me stop the server. Now server went down. If we hit this one, we will get 404, correct? So we need to verify this one with 404. You can write one more if condition. If server is not available, what will happen? 404 you will get, correct?
Mhm.
These are failure scenarios. Server is down. 404 means server is not available. 500 means server is there, but there is some problem on server side. So that is the basic difference between these many codes. Now come back here. So now let me select US. Server is not available. Why? Because server went down, right?
All right.
See here again it's saying server is not available. So because currently our server is not responding anything, it's not able to respond. So it's down. So whenever its server is ready, then only you will get response back. Now let me restart our server. So this is our server. I am going to start our server. Once server is ready, let me test. Yes, now server is ready, correct? Now go back to this application, just change the user, so you are getting the values.
Right.
So this is the simple piece of code. So this code is common for everywhere. So this Ajax code is common for everywhere. So every time what we have to do, we have to change only the server URL and whatever the inputs you want to pass, and which portion of division you want to update, so that you can update it, and rest of the piece of code is common. So that's what you can keep this code with you, and you can use it wherever you want, and you will get this code in internet also. You no need to type it manually. If you type it manually, if you miss one single character, then it will not work. But because JavaScript will not give you any compilation errors, correct? Even though if you type something wrong also, it will be just keep quiet.
Oh, it's not. It doesn't give any compilation error.
You will not get anything. Say for instance, this is the standard word you have to use. Yesterday I did one mistake, right? Document spelling mistake, correct?
Mhm.
That you identified. So we didn't get any compilation error, correct?
Right.
So if I remove this u, So this is a wrong, correct? Do you see any compilation error?
No.
No, if whenever you are trying to refresh, we cannot read that value. See, does the values are populating?
Yeah. So if the interview asks, does the JavaScript gives a compilation error?
No, it
So
will not. You will not get any error. So for that we have to use some internal tools like setting.
if this is a question is how would you overcome that issue if you cannot?
Yeah. So to debug these JavaScript issues, right? So we need to go to this tools and yes, more tools, and you will see here developer tools, and so whenever you are changing this one, just change here, and you will see here console, and sometime it will display some errors. Did you see this? Uncaught reference document is not defined.
Ah.
So this is the way to debug the JavaScript, but you will not get any error in the application side. You can it will build successfully. Only this particular that particular line will not work. Rest of the things, everything it will work. Did you see this? Application is rendering clearly, right?
Mhm.
Did you see any issue here? No, right?
No.
So application will render clearly. Only the problem with is you are not able to read the field value. Every time it will say document is undefined.
Hmm.
So then you need to go to
So
that.
wording, spelling, it does matter in this case.
Yes, correct. Yes. So this is the way we need to fix it. So we need to come here and we need to fix this issue.
So in a developer tool, so I can see that the arrow where does the arrow is exactly appears, but not
Correct.
in the.
But not in your application. You cannot see anything.
Okay.
If everything is fine, it will not show you any errors. Did you see this? Any errors now? You can change, keep on changing. You will not get any errors. See here errors, warnings, info, log, debug. So these are the information you can able to add it. Think console will work here. So this is another way to debug your JavaScript. You go to the developer tools and just verify whether you are getting, did you see any errors or warnings, something like that. So this is one way to verify it.
Mhm. Got it.
Did you see this? If you want to, in Java, if at all, if you want to see some information, what you are doing, you used to add some system out statements, right?
Right.
But in case of JavaScript, you can able to add like this console.log.
Hmm.
So then you can write whatever content you want, so that will be displayed here. If you say for instance now I want to see the selected country and come back to your debug statement or logger information, see selected country UK. Did you see this?
Hmm.
I am adding here, right? So this is another way to see the log information from JavaScript side, console.log, and you can add here whatever you want, so it will be displayed to in your console debug log statement. So this is what I am adding, right? Country colon country name.
Hmm. Okay.
So this is very powerful. You can write, you can able to write the code also here. See here, just I am trying to get the system date, new date, so it's displaying everything. So this is totally different. This is Node.js, everything will come. So the so this is the purpose of your developer tools. So at any point of time, if you want to debug something, come to the developer tools at console Then you can able to see all your errors, warnings and log information. It's clear, right? This Ajax.
Right.
This Ajax is a simple concept, but you will get lot of questions in interview. Why we need Ajax? What is the different status codes? And how to use? We tell me some scenarios, something like that. They will ask questions. So what I will do, I will upload this server plus as well as these two projects I will upload into GitHub, so you can just have a look. These two I will upload.
Okay.
And anyway, server part we will discuss when we are discussing um, servlets that time.
Okay.
It's clear, right?
Yep.
Just have a look, and if you have any questions, we will discuss as part of our next class.
Okay. Sure.
Okay?
Definitely.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. No problem.